This is an instruction video on how to perform the physical installation of the residential version of the RainKlor saltwater swimming pool chlorinating system. This video is an overview of the installation and should be supplemented with the system installation manual included with each RainKlor unit. This video does not cover the chemical preparation of the installation. For pool chemical preparation, refer to the installation manual. Inspect the shipping package for obvious signs of damage. Alert the shipper or the unit provider immediately if any damage is noticed. Open the package to find the installation manual. The manual is usually located on top of the components and immediately visible when opening the package. Installers should read and be familiar with the manual before an actual installation. The product registration card is located in the installation manual. Please fill out the card and mail it to RainKlor so as to validate the warranty. Be sure to fill in the unit serial number located on the inside panel of the control box. Continue to open the package to find the various components and arrange the parts for inventory. Be sure to inspect the components for possible shipping damage. Once the components are removed from the packaging, inventory all the parts. This should include the control box, a roll of plastic tubing, a package containing both the saltwater test strips and a small container of water, lube, the cell, the anode with its attached cord, a service plug, and a retaining pin. Inspect the bottom of the control box to become familiar with the connection points located there. These points will include the keyed anode receptacle, the 1/4 inch tubing connection, and a ground lug, should local codes require this, and the 115-volt power cord. Now we're ready to begin the actual physical installation. First, determine a location for the cell. The RainKlor unique cell is designed so it can be installed as two different configurations. The first and most popular is the flow-through or horizontal configuration. In this type of installation, the cell is installed in a straight section of the pool plumbing. When planning the installation, the port that receives the anode should not point up, but rather to the side. This layout helps prevent air bubbles from forming in the cell and prolongs anode life. The cell can also be installed as an elbow. This installation is less popular and is usually relegated to a new pool installation. When installing as an elbow, remember to plan for the port that receives the anode to point to the side and not up. When deciding where to install the cell, thought should be given to its relationship to the planned position of the control box. The cell and control box must be within 4 feet of each other in order to accommodate the connecting cable and tube. In this video installation, the cell will be installed in the horizontal section of the plumbing indicated here. The control box will be mounted on the wall here. A 3-inch section of plumbing must be removed in order to install the cell. Measure and mark the section to be removed. Cut and deburr the cut ends of the plumbing. Now glue the cell in place, making sure the port for the anode is pointing horizontally and not up. This layout helps prevent air bubbles from forming in the cell and prolongs anode life. Mark and drill the mounting holes for the control box. Remember, the control box must be within 4 feet of the cell in order to accommodate the connecting cable and tube. Mount the control box with appropriate hardware. Locate the anode and remove the clear protective film surrounding the O-ring. When needed, you will remove the same protective film from the service plug as well. Locate the water lube and apply a thin coating to the O-ring. This coating will facilitate sealing and removal of the anode. Depending on individual swimming loads and usage, the O-ring may need to be re-lubricated from time to time. To insert the anode into the cell, first orientate the handle so it is aligned with the notches in the cell. Next, push the anode into the port until the handle is engaged into the notches. Now, install the retaining pin. To connect the anode to the control box, first notice that the anode plug is keyed so that it only goes into its receptacle one way. Orientate the anode plug to the receptacle on the bottom of the control box and firmly insert it. Now remove the 1/4 inch nut and ferrule from the fitting on the cell by unscrewing the nut. Install the nut and ferrule on the tube end in the same order that they were removed from the fitting. Install this end back into the fitting on the cell and tighten the nut by hand. With the opposite end of the tube in hand, locate the 1/4 inch fitting on the bottom of the control box. Insert the tube end into this fitting and firmly seat it. You're done. Installation is completed. A few hours after gluing the cell into place, turn the pump on and check for leaks. Before plugging the RainKlor chlorinator into its 115-volt receptacle and applying power, ensure that the pool has been properly charged with salt and other chemicals per the installation manual. Review the manual for proper operating instructions as well. Now, start enjoying real pool freedom with RainKlor.